Welcome back. Let's continue discussing helping other people, in particular people you don't like, as we did in the last mitzvah, as well as relieving suffering of the animal in such a situation. Let's take a look. 71, it is a positive commandment to load with one's fellow man, to set a burden on a domestic animal or on the person. As scripture says, you shall surely help him lift them up. If one left him and went on his way without helping him, he disobeyed a positive commandment. However, an elder for whom it is beneath his dignity is free of the duty, as we saw last time. If, though, had it been his own, he would have unloaded and loaded the burden, he is duty-bound likewise with the burden of his fellow man. Right? The standard isn't whether you think it's beneath your dignity to help the other guy. The question is whether you think it would be beneath your dignity if you were doing it. If he wishes to go beyond the strict line or letter of the law, he may unload or load it, even if it is not in accord with his dignity, and may blessing come upon him. If a person faced both the religious duty of unloading and the duty of loading, unloading takes priority because of the pain of the living creature. However, if the one needing his burden loaded was a person whom he disliked and the other was a friend, it is a religious duty to help the disliked person load first so as to discipline his inclination. Loading is to be done specifically if the other pays him a fee for it, but for nothing there is no obligation to do loading. These two commandments, unloading and loading, yesterday and today, are in effect everywhere at every time for both man and woman. We see the same concepts here. You'll notice that all things being equal, if it's somebody that you like, or I guess two situations which you dislike, but all things being equal, you help out the animal, which means that you unload the animal before loading the other guy's animal. You want to help the animal first. However, if there's personal animus involved, you should do for the person you dislike before you do it for the person you like. Again, because Judaism wants to discipline us to do acts of kindness, not just for people we favor, but for people who we dislike as well. It's a very, very important component thereof. When it comes to loading, you have to pay the person. Unlike the unloading, reloading there, where you're dealing with the animal and the suffering, in this case, you have to pay the person. You have to pay the person to do it. The person can volunteer to do it, but otherwise you have to pay them to do it. In the case of unloading, you're already in a situation where you're relieving the difficulty of the animal, the suffering of the animal, so that you had to do anyway, and so now you're already in process, you don't have to be paid for it. But if it's initially to load the animal or a person, but to load the burden, then you are entitled to be paid to do so. Okay, next time. We're almost, by the way, at the end of the positive commandments. There are, nowadays, applicable only 77 positive commandments, and we're up to number 72. Not to worry, there's another 180-something or 190-something. I'm looking it up as we speak. There are another 190-something negative commandments, so we'll be here for quite a long time doing our sessions. Okay, we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.